Hi everybody, this is Neil Waterhouse. Today I want to talk about negotiation. Received an email from Lisa Gibbons. Hi Neil, how do you guys negotiate with Chinese suppliers? Well, we negotiate with Chinese suppliers just like we negotiate with suppliers in any other country. I.e. we import from not just China but Malaysia, Vietnam and other countries as well. The main thing we're always looking for are two things: MOQ and price. Now, first of all, most of us, or many of us, are not brought up to negotiate, and we don't feel comfortable doing it, myself included. But the good news is today we of course can hide behind our keyboards. We use a program called Alibaba Trade Manager because we just negotiate through Alibaba. But we'll get to that in a moment. And with negotiation, many people just give up too early. I see this all the time. Now, the difference negotiation can make to your bottom line is huge, because every extra dollar you negotiate is an extra dollar in the bank. There's no more expenses. All the expenses are paid. It's a straight profit. Think about it. One extra dollar, if you average negotiating an extra dollar on each item that you sell, let's say one item, on average, you negotiate $1 extra. All your items sell on average 15 times a month. Let's say you've got 10 items. 10 times 15, extra $150 a month profit. 1,000 products, an extra $15,000 on your back pocket every month. Then all that times 12, and it can be a huge amount. Now, when negotiating, I always think of negotiation like buying a house. If you go to an auction, and let's say the house that's going to be auctioned, it's got a market value of around, say, $500,000. The auctioneer might start off at, say, $300,000. Then when the auction starts, it'll go up in big chunks, often $5,000, $10,000 chunks. Then at the end of the negotiation, at the end of the auction I should say, it will go down to smaller chunks. It might go down to $1,000 chunks or $1,000 bids, then $500, then $250. And it's the same with negotiating. When you're negotiating just a $10 product or a $50 product or whatever, it's the same thing. Go with a lower amount, because then you can always come up. Just like, let's say you're selling a car and you want to take, say, $10,000 for your car. You don't list it for $10,000. You list it for $12,000, $13,000, so you can accept offers and negotiate there somewhere in between. And you might negotiate somewhere in between, but ultimately you end up with your $10,000 goal. So it's the same thing when negotiating. Start with your goal. What is your MOQ? Now, our MOQ is always the lowest amount for a first order, because we want to test the product. Now, on average, it's about 30 to 50 pieces. However, we can sometimes still get 1 piece, 2 pieces, 5 pieces. We'll never normally ever go over 100, and very rarely on a first order we'll go over 200. We'll only go to 200 if everything else is stacking up really well. Very high profits, proven products of the last 90 days, and high velocity, in other words, how many times the item sells every month. That's the only time we'll ever break those rules. Now, when we negotiate, we only use Alibaba. Why? We've just always used Alibaba and we're used to it. Now, there's no reason you can't use global sources, DHgate or whatever else you're comfortable with, but just get good at one. Likewise, I'm a Windows user. I know Apple's better. Everybody tells me all day long Apple's better. However, I'm used to my Windows computers. I've been using computers since day dot, and I'm used to it. And it's the same with Alibaba. I'm used to using Alibaba, and the longer you use anything, you tend to get better at it because you've done it for longer. So my advice is don't try and use all different sources, just get good at one. Now, we only purchase from Alibaba gold suppliers. They've got to be a minimum of 1 year gold supplier. We use Trade Manager, which is free to download, because it's critical to have a trail. Just like with eBay, you always want to be communicating through eBay messages. So if anything goes wrong, you can communicate with eBay. Like, eBay will not get involved if you say, well, I received an email or phone call from this customer. They don't want to know about it. Same with Alibaba. They don't want to know about it unless they can look at the thread. And the only way they can look at the thread is if it's been communicated through Alibaba, i.e. Alibaba Trade Manager. Now, Trade Manager, you can just Google it. It's free to download. It's available on Windows, Apple, and smart devices. Well, I hope that helps. If you've seen this video on anywhere besides my blog, please come over to my blog, neilwaterhouse.com. Please leave me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't mind either way. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how you're going with your negotiation. Please give me a click on one of the like buttons below. Until next week, list more, sell more. This is Neil Waterhouse.